organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV.
A drug house, child endangerment, and one family. Find out what happened next.
And one female acting group takes on all roles. More about that is coming up.
And in sports,
a look into the men's basketball team's matchup set to take place in North Carolina that might be a little bit closer to home than we think.
All that and more is coming your way. This is Daily Iowan TV. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Hannah Hawks.
And I'm Austin Luce.
Numerous drug and child endangerment charges are pending for an Iowa City couple. The couple, Rhonda and Jacob Brulick, are facing charges after police raided their home in late October. They were released from jail on Monday. The Brulicks admitted to selling marijuana out of their home and to supplying their 15-year-old daughter with Adderall to study. The father also admitted to smoking marijuana with the daughter nightly. The couple faces 2 Class D felonies and 2 aggravated misdemeanors for drug-related charges and child endangerment. If the couple is convicted on all charges, they could spend up to 14 years in jail.
The Obama administration is making international strides to end Ebola concerns in the U.S. today. Obama requested $6.2 billion in emergency spending against the outbreak in West Africa. Teams of civilians and military personnel have been deployed to West Africa, meaning the U.S. president's presence in the region is now at about 200 civilians and 3,000 troops. 3 Ebola treatment units and a hospital in Liberia have also been opened in hopes of reducing spreads of the virus.
Local officials are also making strides to defuse Ebola concerns here. Doctors at UIHC designed their very own set of protective headgear in case of a local outbreak. The headgear prototype is a closed hood with 2 openings for the eyes and mouth. Because the doctors do not have the means to mass produce their product, they have sewn them by hand. There are now over 600 of the prototypes ready for use if needed.
Parents in the Iowa City community may actually have a reason to bring their families to the downtown area on a Saturday night. Last week kicked off their traditional Celebrate the Season festivities downtown. This means every Saturday there will be pictures of Santa, horse-drawn trolley rides, and shopping discounts that all give back to the community. Nancy Bird, Executive Director of the Iowa City Downtown District, says, quote, "Celebrate the Season invites Iowa City families downtown and gives families something to do together. All downtown activities will be free and will stretch for the entire month of November this year. This Saturday's event is a retail open house along with Iowa City's 175th birthday. We'll take a closer look into one of the events in next week's Tuesday edition of Daily Iowan TV.
What do 8 women, comedy, and Janice Ian have in common? They all combine to form one improv team called the Janice Ian Experience. Daily Iowan TV's Katie Stites takes a closer look.
The comedy troupe started about a year ago at a different troupe's auditions. Elena Briss was auditioning for Paperback Rhino, an established improv group, but didn't make it in. Her playwriting teacher, Sarah Cho, also rejected, proposed they start their own troupe.
And I was like, wait, what? Because I never start things, I guess. And so I was like, oh yeah, I guess we could start a team. And she's like, you know what else? We should make it all girls.
They began gathering a team, mainly through the theater department and by word of mouth. A recent addition to the team, Emily Gum, is a college graduate who's pursuing creative writing in Iowa City.
I just thought this would be a good way to sort of stimulate thinking about stories and storytelling and just meet up with other creative people.
The girls say that they like having an all-female team because they can get into playing different roles and reject the idea that they are trying to make a statement.
With 2 girls go on stage and one can be a girl, one can be a guy, both can be guy, both can be girls. And it's more just not as gender restricted. And that's kind of different, I think.
Women or men, it wouldn't really matter. It's just a matter of getting to work with great improvisers, and that's what this group just happens to be, great improvisers. So
the group first began performing here at the Mill, and they still consider it home. They have shows here about once a month, and whether it's here at the bar or on a bigger stage, the group doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. Reporting from Iowa City, I'm Katie Stites.
And still to come on Daily Iowan TV, one fitness accessory has inspired UI researchers and the community. Find out what next.
And in sports, a look into a Spirit Spectacular Thanksgiving break for the Iowa Spirit Squad.
Speaking of spirits, Hannah, gotta be all-time lows here in Iowa City with the weather being this cold.
Yeah, absolutely. With exams coming up, spirits are definitely a little low. Hey Taylor, what's the temps going to be like this week? Still pretty low?
Sorry to inform you, Hannah, but the temps will be low. Tomorrow morning, you can expect temperatures to be in the mid-20s with clear skies. Going into the afternoon, temperatures will rise to the lower 30s with some partly cloudy skies. Falling into the evening, temps will drop to the lower 20s with winds at 6 miles per hour. But students, for the remainder of your week, temperatures will be in the upper 30s with mostly clear skies. On Thursday, you can expect a high of 33 degrees and a low of 29 degrees with some cloudy skies. And get ready to bundle up because winds will be up to 10 miles per hour. So as always, make sure to dress for the weather because it looks like we may be experiencing an early winter. Well, that's all I have for you this week, but stay tuned to Daily Iowan TV for your 7-day forecast. Hannah, Austin, back to you guys at the news desk.
Today, the director of Iowa's Homeland Security Division announced more than 50 counties have signed up for a statewide emergency notification system. The system was launched in October. Residents in counties with the system can sign up for alerts like severe weather. They can receive the notifications via text message, phone calls, or on social media. Johnson, Lynn, Iowa, Cedar, and Washington counties are all signed up for the system.
An activity tracking bracelet that recently hit the market has gained popularity in the fitness community and at the UI. A team of researchers at the university have been using the bracelet to conduct a family-based weight loss program. Katie Sextro has more.
A new kind of watch from Fitbit has made an appearance. While the Zip, One, and Flex have been around for a while, the new Charge wristband is becoming more popular. The Charge can track your steps, count calories you've burnt, monitor your exercise progress, monitor your sleeping patterns, set alarms, and sync to your personal devices. And the battery can last up to 7 to 10 days before needing to be charged. Dr. Lucas Carr finds the wristband and other Fitbit products very accurate and beneficial.
They did a nice job of looking at what the consumer wanted out of these monitors, and I think what that comes down to is being able to see how active you are on a regular basis and getting some feedback that hopefully, as they might feel, is motivational for the individual, so they might add a few more steps to their day and then hopefully maintain that increased activity.
Dr. Lucas Carr and others at the university are using the Fitbit products for an ongoing research study geared towards a family-based weight loss program.
If everybody has these, everybody in the family has these, then it becomes kind of a social support thing where maybe mom and dad are comparing how active they are on a day-to-day basis. Maybe they're talking to their kids about activity, and then it just kind of introduces this conversation in the family.
College students are also excited about the new Fitbit Charge.
I think because it tracks your progress, it would be really helpful to motivate me to be look what I accomplished and stuff, so I think that'd be really cool.
If you have any friends that are looking for ways to get motivated to work out, a Fitbit could be a great Christmas present. Fitbit products can be found at most electronics stores. Reporting from the Fieldhouse, Katie Sextro, Daily Iowan TV.
The Iowa men's basketball team is set to take on the 12th-ranked North Carolina Tar Heels tomorrow night.
That's right, Austin. Let's toss it over to Laura Belanda and Danny Payne standing by for a preview of tomorrow's matchup. Guys?
That's right, Hannah. We've got to look into the Iowa men's hoops team before it takes off for Chapel Hill tomorrow. But first, some news on the gridiron. I'm Danny Payne.
And I'm Laura Belanda. Iowa left tackle Braden Sheriff was named as the Remington Pace Offensive Lineman of the Year in the Big Ten. The senior was also named first team All-Big Ten by coaches for the second year in a row.
Offensive lineman Austin Blythe, linebacker Quentin Alston, and defensive tackles Carl Davis and Louis Trinket-Passat all earned second-team honors by coaches, and defensive end Drew Ott earned second-team honors by the media. Iowa is the only team with 3 defensive linemen named to the first and second teams in the Big Ten.
The men's basketball team is heading to Chapel Hill to take on the UNC Tar Heels tomorrow night in the ACC Big Ten Challenge.
While North Carolina is over 900 miles away, the Hawkeyes are going to see an all-too-familiar face. Austin Luce has the story.
The Iowa basketball team finds itself with a record of 6-2 after 3 straight home victories over some lesser opponents. Next up on the schedule for the Hawkeyes are the 12th-ranked North Carolina Tar Heels as the team travels to Chapel Hill on Wednesday.
It's a nationally televised game on ESPN, and it's just a great opportunity for our guys to, put together a game plan and try to go on the road and beat, a top 5 team in a difficult environment, and do the things that we do well, and compete against a team that physically is very gifted.
Coach Fran McCaffrey and 2 junior starters for the Hawkeyes are awfully familiar with one player for the Tar Heels. Star point guard Marcus Page has led UNC to a 5-1 start in 2014 and was one of McCaffrey's primary targets in his early recruiting classes here at Iowa.
He would have been a great fit for what we were trying to build at that time. And so, we were very well received, by Linn-Mar High School. And then, of course, he played with Adam and Mike and, the Martin brothers team.
In regards to the excitement that comes to playing in a big-time arena against great competition, the Hawks say they are prepared and have a couple of players in particular who are eager to get back on the court with their former AAU teammate.
He's one of my best friends. I've known him for a long time. We've been very close all through AAU and stuff, and he's a very, very special player.
We thought it'd be cool for all 3 of us to go together, but how likely that would have happened would have been pretty tough, and I was fortunate enough to get Mike to come with me.
Be sure to tune in to ESPN tomorrow night at 6:30 when the Hawks take the court. Austin Luce, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Tomorrow night will be the 4th meeting between Iowa and North Carolina, with Iowa leading the series 2-1.
The Iowa Grapplers are set to take on their first Big Ten matchup of the season against Michigan State this weekend.
As the wrestling season is in its early phases, head coach Tom Brand says he's starting to get a sense of who Hawkeye fans like to see on the mat, and that is 184-pounder Sammy Brooks.
I think he's fun to watch. He's slowly becoming a fan favorite, I think. That's kind of what I pick up around the Hawkeye Nation. I think people like watching him wrestle. I think they look forward to his time on the mat.
While Brooks disregarded the idea of being named fan favorite, he says having the crowd cheer him on in Carver is his goal.
If people like the way I wrestle, awesome. That means I'm doing my job. I don't know, it's fun for me. It's fun for the fans. That's what you go out there for. You want people cheering for you, and you want people standing up and clapping. That's what the goal is when you're in Carver, and I love it.
While most of Tuesday was spent talking about this weekend, Brand did have a little bit to say about the devastating loss of Costa Kara-George. The Ohio State football player was found dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound and had a history of concussions that his family claimed affected him.
Kara-George was a former wrestler for the Buckeyes, and Brand says it's difficult to see this happen to any athlete, especially one he met personally.
I'll tell you one thing, it's hard hitting. It's hard hitting. It's sad, but and I recruited that kid, so I was in their home, and good family, and thoughts and prayers are certainly out to the family.
Before we let you go, another Big Ten coach has been fired.
That's right, Danny. Just 3 days ago, Nebraska's head coach Bo Pelini was fired, and it was just announced today that head coach Brady Hoke is out at Michigan.
In his first season, Hoke led Michigan to its first BCS bowl game since the 2006 season, but since then has steadily declined, leaving the Wolverines just 5-7 and bowlless this season.
Hoke was previously the head coach for Ball State and San Diego State before accepting the position in Ann Arbor.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight's show, but be sure to check us out tomorrow as we turn to club sports to see what it takes to be an Iowa hockey player.
Austin and Hannah, back to you at the desk.
And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan.
Getting a Christmas tree? You won't be out of luck this year. Find out what the farmers had to say.
And read about how the City Council may be demolishing historic cottages. That's all we have for you tonight.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at the same time or anytime at dailyiowan.com. I'm Austin Luce.
And I'm Hannah Hawks. Have a great night.
Can't pick up a copy of the Daily Iowan? Are you worried about how you're going to find out about the latest news in Iowa City and the University of Iowa? Well, look no further. You can download the Daily Iowan mobile app on your iPhone for the area's best news coverage. And you can also read and watch us on your iPad. You can always find current and past Daily Iowan stories at dailyiowan.com.